We have our charming achievers today who are here to help us strategize our preparation and accomplish our goal of becoming civil servants. Thank you for being here, dear toppers. ದಿನದ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಮಗುವಿನ ಯಶಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಕೀಲಕವಾಗಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವುದು ಪೋಷಕರ ಸಕಾರಾತ್ಮಕ ಒಳಗೊಳ್ಳುವಿಕೆ. Thus, it's the involvement, enduring support, and encouragement of the parents that has been pivotal in the toppers' success. In order to show gratitude to them and heartily appreciate the toppers and their parents, we would like to felicitate the parents. In addition, we also have a few guests, that is Karima ma'am, Alima ma'am, Beg sir, who have graced the seminar with their presence. We request the dignitaries to felicitate them. Irfan sir. We request the dignitaries to felicitate the guests and the parents. We are felicitating the parents of Ms. Vijeta. Now we have the parents of Nagendra Babu. We apologize, his parents are not here, so we are felicitating him. Now we are felicitating Mr. Shashank NM. I request Mr. Sagar to join Shashank. Now we're felicitating Ms. Thejaswini. We would like to felicitate ma'am's husband. Now we request Cancer to felicitate the dignitaries. Thank you, Cancer. ವಿದ್ಯಾ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಕಲಿಸಿದ ಮೊದಲ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕನೇ ಗುರು. 1000 ದಿನದ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವುದಕ್ಕಿಂತ 1 ದಿನ ಉತ್ತಮ ಗುರುವಿನ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಪಡೆದರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಸಾಕು, ಜೀವನವೇ ಬದಲಾಗುವುದು. ಅಂತಹ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಹಾಗುರುಗಳೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ AR ಖಾನ್ ಸರ್. One of the most crucial aspects in this journey is mentorship and guidance. Khan sir has been the embodiment of the same. Sir, now we request you to speak a few words about the toppers and address the gathering.
If I speak a little longer. She insisted on few words, a little strongly, so I thought good evening everybody. And I'm told it's going live also, so I have to be a little more careful. Well, I think it's not my day, it's the day of the achievers, and I'm so fortunate that they are the latest version of success. I'm the oldest version, and I meet these people and then learn from them as to what has worked this year. You know that UPSC is evolving every time. There are certain common things which continues every year, but it is continuously evolving. So ever you get to meet people who have recently been successful, you should not forget to learn as to what is the latest which is working in that area. It's learning for me, learning for you, and learning for anybody who is watching live from wherever. So what we basically would like to say that there are certain cardinal principles which have to be followed. There's no substitute to hard work, because this is a all India competition. Is it all India competition? Well, I think if I can just take a few minutes, can I just explain some small thing? Competition, you understand, competition is amongst equal, right? So we have people sitting from IAS, IPS, IRMS, and there are competition is amongst equal, and you start from a point, end at a point, isn't it? That's what this competition is all about. Everybody starting at the same time, the same point, ending at the same ending point differently, and you compete. And while you're running, you keep looking left and right at how fast I have to run, and like that, isn't it? And that's what competition is all about. And when you are competing, do you think that some people can enter from here in the same track? Yes, somebody who's already IRS. You're starting from here, somebody already IPS entering from this. Is this a fair competition? Sitting in Bengaluru, do you know somebody who's competing with you and preparing in the jungles of Chhattisgarh, in Itanagar, in Porbandar, for that matter, Leh? Can you compete with that person? Do you know that person who is competing with you and then preparing differently? It's like competition means in the ring, featherweight fights featherweight, heavyweight fights heavyweight. But do they take your weight before you enter into that race? Somebody may be giving 5th attempt, somebody giving 1st attempt, all equal. So this is actually not a competition which is fair. Do you understand that? It's not an all India competition because you have no idea who is competing how. What I've understood is that the only person you are always competing with is your own self. All these people are here, they are the ones who have found a better version of their own selves to be here. Because it's absolutely impossible that you can compete with somebody who is giving its 6th attempt and you giving a 1st attempt. You have to find a better version, and that is a concept, I call it as meta competition. You are in a state of meta is beyond, right? metaphysical, metaverse, whatever. So you are in a state of meta competition. If you're giving this competition, forget about anybody. Forget about all the competitors across the country. Compete with your own self. Find your better version every single hour. Because if you get your better version all the time, do you believe that it's a meta competition? It's not a competition with others which you have, I mean, not equal, no? Somebody is already prepared for 4 years and you are preparing starting now. So you have to basically be fighting with your own self. And then when you understand this idea of meta competition, there are so many things in which you are competing, and I like you to understand that carefully. You are competing against your own odds. You're competing against your own dreams, your own uncertainty, your own misery, your own challenges, your own whatever you have got, own hurdles, own odds. So actually this is a beautiful examination which gives you an absolute fresh chance to write your own career by finding a better version for your own self. I would be very curious. I mean, I've spent 3+ decades doing the same job and come to a conclusion. A person who sits facing from this side is the one who has found its own better version. I think you forget about competition. You just cannot compete what others are doing. You're getting my point. You're only competing with your own self, and when you start competing with your own self and you find a better version every next hour, you are a better version. I suppose, I promise there's nobody's going to stop you. In fact, for all these years that I have spent here, is this a very serious topic or something? You suddenly look like, I mean, everybody is so serious here. But actually, what I have done all these years is that, I mean, I've met all these achievers, and I'm so fortunate to meet the best minds of the country every single year and spend few minutes, whatever they allow me. And I have kept on learning from these people and have seen that how they have fought their own odds. And there are some such collection of themes which I have put them at one place, and I'm not marketing anything. I have a book which is going to be in the market called Meta Competition. You don't have to buy. You can come and collect a copy free from this place, which is where I have identified some of your own odds and how you handle that, how you deal with your own failure. I hope you understand that. I mean, unless you fail, you can't pass. You have to be failing regularly, and that's the only guarantee that you are working. I mean, I'm sure you all know that. Usain Bolt, I like giving example of. Usain Bolt, I mean, did he run on the track for several hours? I don't think he ran on the track in competition even for half an hour, maybe less than that. But he was competing with his own self. He was always in meta competition. He was always in meta competition, and ultimately going to such a stage where in Beijing Olympics he forgot to tie his laces, and even then he is winning. That much of competition that he had given to himself. It is very important that we realize that, and there are 91 such themes. 1 page, 1.5 page, 1 or 2 pages. I have collected those all odds that you face in your way, and as how to deal with that. Basically, it's not me, it's the learning I've had from these people, or some of these people. I have put them in one book. I like you to read it. It will be free for you as such, and you'll be able to identify some of you with some of those methods that can be used for finding your own better version. Ultimately, it is own better version. I repeat it again, you cannot compete because it's not a fair competition. You cannot compete with others. It's impossible to even imagine. When you're competing running on the track, you always see somebody ahead, somebody behind. You can't see somebody ahead, somebody behind in this journey. So the only competition is meta competition. Do you agree with this meta aspect of competition? Please search your own better version, and never be ashamed, never be tired of failures. Because I have somewhere in the book only I've quoted, success and failure are on the same side of the coin. I think you understand that. It's not like, I mean, success here, failure. If you have success, you don't have failure. No, you have success also, failures also, on the same side of coin. You know what is on the other side? Who cares? Whatever there on the other side absolutely doesn't matter. Because you have your success and failure on just one side of the coin. Accept yourself and then work towards it. And that's what I would like to tell you. And then it is important that you are being monitored and being watched. And when you are being monitored, watched, and the techniques and the, I'll ask you a simple question. You have, there was an experiment done uh, in which they, in office, for higher productivity, somebody said like if you increase the light of the room, the productivity will be greater. Have you heard about this? Uh, and these people were in the office, they had more lights, more lights, more lights, more lights. And they thought that let's see that productivity goes up or not. And they put cameras and everything there. There's another group of office they went. They said like we have heard the productivity of the persons are greater when the light is dim. They're able to focus more. And then they removed some lights and there and then they were like more cozy, calm, quieter, darker situation. And then they went on and put the camera and see the productivity. If I ask you, if you have not heard about this famous experiment, which office would have had higher productivity? The one which had dim light or the one which had more light? Sorry? Dim light? Higher light? Dim light? You know, interestingly, they increased productivity in both of them. You know why? Because they had cameras put there. Trust me, that's what they, and then this is called as observer's bias, Haushofer's effect, a lot of psychological terms are there. I don't want to go into a term. When you're being monitored, you have got your productivity going up. Because these people did not know anything about psychology when they were working. Then, oh, we're being watched, and then we are told that the light goes up, productivity goes up, let's work more. Somebody says, no, they have said that light goes down and we're being watched, and then with the light going down, the productivity goes up, let's work more. So being watched, and how better can it get when you are watching your own self? When you are observing your observer's bias, as they can call it. So you're being observed, and when you're being observed, you're monitoring yourself. When you're assessing yourself, when you're in constant competition with your own self, I suppose there's nobody's going to stop. So whatever this observer bias or whatever word that you want to use, irrespective, please keep auditing your performance. And it is an absolutely doable thing. A coaching, what does a coaching do? Same thing, no? You have, but if you don't give test, you would be not using the coaching institute. Like we do writing exercises a lot. I mean, if you're not writing, the coaching is of no use. So it is important that you are constantly in competition with your own self. And that's one thing I would like you to leave with. I would like you to get into that state of meta competition. Start competing with your own self. Every hour look back and ask, am I a better version than last 1 hour? Every time you sleep, you ask yourself, am I the same person who's sleeping now or is slightly better than the last night? If not, I do something before I earn my sleep. Stay in competition with yourself and never mind failing. Never mind failing your whatever commitments that you have got. I promise you would ultimately be proud of your own self. And my blessings will be there. And it was lovely talking to you. And thank you for giving me this. Since you gave me little bit, but then I have taken more than little bit. And it was lovely talking to you. Thank you very much, and God bless you all. I know you have come to hear these people, not me. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for such an enlightening and insightful talk, Khan sir. We should definitely strive to inculcate all these in our preparation and personality. It's time for another important phase of the seminar. Now we have our achievers, the toppers from Karnataka, who will be sharing their journey in its gist. To begin with, we have Nagendra Babu Kumar from Kolar, Mulabagilu. He has pursued his mechanical engineering from BIT. Sir, it's over to you.
Good evening, all. Good evening, sirs. Good evening, dignitaries, other dignitaries. As you know, my name is Nagendra Babu. I have secured 160th rank in this CSE Civil Services examination. So this is my 7th attempt, 4th mains, and 3rd interview. So I have faced failures in every stage of UPSC examination. In my first 2 attempts, I didn't clear GS paper in prelims. And then in 3rd attempt, I cleared prelims, but I was not able to clear mains. And then in my 4th attempt, I gave interview. I didn't get into the list by 6 marks. And then in 5th attempt, by 4 marks into the final list. And then 6th attempt, I failed the prelims. And this time it was because of CSAT. And then 7th attempt, I have secured 160th rank. So this is my journey. I was brief about that journey because I wanted to emphasize one point. You cannot overlook any of the paper here. Not the CSAT, not the GS, not any of the essays here, GS 1, 2, 3, 4, or else optional. Because whenever I gave the interviews, my optional score was bad. I gave the mains when I didn't clear, I got 261. But when I gave interviews, I got 246 and 248 two of the times. And then if I had got 261 any of the time, I would have had rank by then. But still, this time when I emphasized more on optional, I got 280. So even optional is important. Essay is important. GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Every paper in this. Some people don't get selected because they fail in qualification paper, English and the language papers in during mains. So even those papers are important. So don't overlook anything. First thing I wanted to emphasize. And the second thing is that you know my journey. So there's some consistency in winning, consistency in failing, consistency in learning, everything. So the second important point is that consistent. Your efforts should reflect your character of being consistent, that not giving up. So failing better, learning from the mistakes. So this is what many of the toppers, many of the rankers might have said about what consistency is. And one thing I wanted to emphasize on the point of consistency is I saw one of the video of Michael Phelps. He was telling that he trained for 5 years straight, no leisure for any day. That's when he was telling that even the days he felt bad, he felt not to train, not to go to some this thing. He told that at least I used to go. Those bad days I used to do. That made the difference. And this I remember during this mains. And then one day I personally felt that I didn't sleep for 22 hours in a day. I didn't get the sleep in the night. And then when I thought that I'm about to get the sleep, it was morning 5:30 or so. I thought I'll write an essay in that state of mind, just to check that whether I'm good in my preparation or not. I wrote an essay. There are few of my friends who are already IAS and all. I sent that essay to them and then got the reviews. It was good. It was bad. Both the reviews I got, not completely bad, but still I could do better. That was the reviews I got. But still, what I was emphasizing is that when you are in a bad phase, even then challenge yourself, put some effort. Maybe that might be some learning, some other learning. What if I had the same experience during my actual mains, if like not getting sleep for 24 hours straight, and then I had to attend the examination by 9 in the morning. I had to go there and I have to write that. So if this is the conditions that are put by the UPSC, so and my condition is such that I haven't slept in the past day, how would I be? How would I write? How would my be my approach towards writing essay? This is what my thought was. So be consistent in your effort and focus on the bad days that you are going through. So that's where some of the other learning happens, change or modifications that happen. The Third thing is that confidence. So I was so confident that I gave no exam apart from UPSC CSC, not even CAPF, not even KPSC. There were two exams that KPSC conducted while after I got into this civil services examination competition, but still I didn't give, just because I was confident enough to get into this thing. So that confidence got strengthened through the experience that I cleared prelims, then mains, giving two interviews. But during mains, I had my own mistakes. I had done that. So that's I'll reveal later. So this thing, confidence, have confidence on yourself. This is called self belief. So when you believe in yourself that you can do better. If at all that's your passion, not that you just desire, because everyone here will have the desire to get into IAS, specifically IAS, if not IPS, some people, or else IFS also. But that desire will not fructify until it becomes your passion. This is what Ikigai says. You're good at something, and then you love it. Then it's passion. When you love something, it's just the desire. So you should be good at that thing. So then it becomes a passion. Then you can achieve something. And the fourth thing I wanted to emphasize was that conceptual clarity regarding the examination. So right from the start, you should have the clarity regarding prelims, how it is done, what it is, and then the mains, and then the interview. So in the prelims, you'll get the question paper, you'll have all the questions there, you'll have all the answers there. You just have to pick the right answer. That's it. That's the tricky part. It's an easy part, but the tricky part. So you have the answer, but you can't choose the right one. This is the trick. When you choose the right one, to choose the right one, you should be calm and composed, and you should have better conceptual clarity, what you have studied and what the question is asking, what the statement is telling. Sometimes there are extreme statements, not only yes, something like this, but not always they are wrong. People are told that the extreme statements are always wrong. Not always. Sometimes the extreme statements are right. So you have to be more careful of that. When you have the clarity, you'll be aware of that, you'll be mindful of that, and then you'll choose the right answer. And then the conceptual clarity of mains. So during mains, you have to reproduce a lot of information. So without retaining the information, you'll not reproduce there. So it's not the game of CSE is not only about prelims. You'll just qualify the prelims. Even if you score 200 marks in prelims, it doesn't count in your final marks list. So what counts is the mains. So you have to retain lot much information. You have to have that various analytical depth in what the question is asked, what the questionnaire the questions are being asked, and then what is the content of that, the tone of the question. So we have to understand everything of that in a question. It's not just the dumping the information, but the tone of the question that decides what the way you should answer. So according to the tone, whether it is analyze or else critically analyze, so based on that you give the answer, and then that's when your structure of the answer becomes good. So for this you should have the practice, do the practice, and then for the prelims you should practice a lot. So you should go wrong, do mistakes, and then from the mistakes you should learn where to not to do the mistakes. So this is where I emphasize on the practice part. Practice a lot as much as possible. And then the interview part, sir, I have taken 2 interview guidance sessions with you in 2021. I think it was 2020. It was my first interview. That's when I met sir, and then that was my first interaction. And this year it was the second interaction that I had. So sir will be a better place to help you people how to ace the interview preparations. And one thing I wanted to tell is that after this time when I gave the mock interviews with sir's panel, on the day of my interview, on the morning, maybe around 7:38, a message popped up. So I opened it in WhatsApp. It was the voice of Kansa telling that you have this kind of qualities, just reproduce it, and then it'll work out. So that's when my confidence went up. So this kind of positive pep talk will help. That's where mentoring comes in. So a mentor is one person who tells who analyzes you in depth and tells the what the facts are, where your position is, and then gives the hope, like where you can get better. So mentoring works because I personally never had a mentor. Maybe because one reason I found is because my ego. Because I was never accepting anyone as mentor, and the second is that I didn't find anyone. So you are lucky. I think you'll get mentors. If at all you get a good mentor, uh, I'll categorize them also. Some are good, some are bad. Some are doing it just for money. Some are doing it for out of passion because they might not be able to clear UPSC. That's why they look. They relate themselves to the other aspirant, and then they'll suggest properly. So get those mentors. If you're lucky enough, you'll get. And the last point I wanted to emphasize that the luck part, because I'm lucky enough to get this rank, and then if you're lucky enough, you'll also get. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Following this, we have Shashank NM. Sir is from Hassan and has pursued Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, Botany and Zoology. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, all. Good evening, sir. Good evening to all the dignitaries, and good evening to all those who cleared this exam this year. So, my name is Shashank, and I secured All India rank 459 in my third attempt. This is my first interview, and in the very first interview, I got second highest in Karnataka, 195. So Nagendra Babu sir said everything about this UPSC exam. So let's change the nomenclature of UPSC. Let's change it from Union Public Service Commission to Union Personality Selecting Commission. So because this exam, in my perception, it is just 50% knowledge, 50% personality. Because if I wouldn't get 195, I would have been at 700 or 800 rank. So please focus on personality. So when I got interview with Khan sir, he told me that you don't need me. You already prepared for interview and you will get nearly 200. So that boosts my confidence very much. And I would like to say few quotes. Success, it all depends on second letter. In success, the second letter is U. So how much you sacrifice, how much you dedicate, how much you are willing to prepare for this exam, and based on your purpose. So if you have truly good purpose, you will definitely going to clear this exam. Because as Nagendra Babu sir said, luck also plays a very crucial role in clearing it in this exam. And I would say, so instead of luck, I would say we can relate luck to blessings. So we should have the blessings of our gurus, and especially the mentors. I would say that one of my mentor, I used to call him as a Dronacharya. So in the last 3 years of my preparation, he used to pat my back every stage. So it is very important. We should be very honest to ourselves. At the same time, we should be honest to our gurus, because as Nagendra Babu sir said, they will analyze us and they will give hope to see the light. So this is very important. And as let's discuss about a few things about how UPSC checks our personality in the each stage of this exam. So in the first prelims, they could have give easy questions, because here all those who have been preparing for this exam in the last 2 or 3 years, I believe that they have no dearth of knowledge. Everybody has enormous amount of knowledge, but they are checking the personality, whether this person can handle the exam, that pressure within 2 hours. Within the 2 hours, whether you are able to find the answers, that is quick solution. I always tell that in this exam 3 C's are very important: confidence, calmness, common sense. This plays a very crucial role, because this, as Kansar said, this exam is a level playing field. The one who is coming from IIT or one who is coming from Government Science College, so rural background. So this is a level playing field. So they don't need a person with extraordinary knowledge who is a specialist in some field. They need a generalist who can find quick solution. I will tell you how they check the personality. For example, recently we witnessed Balasore train accident. So there was lot of casualties. So if you are a district magistrate of that particular district, so how would you handle that situation? So that kind of situation, they are checking that kind of things in each stage of preparation. For example, when it comes to mains, we have to write lot of answers. So morning 250 marks, evening, afternoon 250. They are checking our mental stability, because we are exhaustive at few times. So if we give up there, it will be the end of our journey. So you have to push each stage. So they are checking that in the exam only. So when it comes to interview, so it is very good to maintain originality. It is better to show us as we are instead of modifying ourselves. So everyone is good. If you are doing 2 to 3 years of preparation, so you will came to know what we have to portray in front of them. So but because of fear or under pressure, we try to modify ourselves. My one suggestion to all those who are going to clear prelims or mains and going to interview, please maintain your originality. So if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. So honesty is very important there. So if you try to modify or fake yourself, definitely you are going to get below 150. If they identify that, they will give you very less marks. And also another very important thing which plays a very crucial role in this journey is discipline. In English, there is one quote: discipline creates greatness. I am a big fan of Cristiano Ronaldo. Not because he has $1 billion of money, he is one of the highest goal scorer. So because of his discipline, even though he has lot of money, he never missed a single day in his training life. So that's how you have to train. So never miss a single day. So I am a big fan of his discipline. So I want to match Cristiano Ronaldo discipline during my preparation days. I never missed a single day. After my basic preparation, I never missed a single day. So that is how this journey will be. It is very tough, and sometimes there will be obstacles. As sir said, there will be lot of odds. So we have to jump over them and cross those obstacles, and we have to meet it, our destination. So another quote, I have the habit of reading lot of quotes. So another quote is Mike Tyson. So you guys all know. So discipline is doing what you hate to do, but nonetheless it is doing like you are doing like you love it. ಸೊ ನಮಗೂ ನಾಳೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ಓದಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅದು ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೆಳಗಾಯಿತು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್, ಅದೇ ಪೊಲಿಟಿ, ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೀಡ್. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಕೇಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ವಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮನಿ, ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ ಮನಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಸೊ ಟೈಮ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. So focus on it. So if you are truly working hard and you are honest to yourself, then you will definitely clear in one or the other attempt. And I am also a big fan of MS Dhoni. So who said in our society we always appraise those who have cleared this exam, who got result, who got succeed. So what I would say, forget about the result. If you forget about the result, definitely you will focus on process. Your process is good, definitely your result will be positive. That is what Krishna said in the Mahabharata. Karmanye sadhikaraste mapalechu kadachana. So you focus on the process, I will give the result. So this is my humble opinion. Just focus on the process, forget about the result.
Thank you, sir. Up next, we have Thejaswini N, who hails from Mysuru and has pursued Masters in Computer Applications. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. So my name is Thejaswini. I'm from Mysore district and from a village called Alnali. And firstly, I would like to mention I got married very early. So because when I told my husband is here, everyone was looking like what is happening here. So I would like to mention that. So in this journey, I would like to share some of my experiences and I like to give some suggestion. If it works, you can take or you can make your own strategy as well. So I got 787th rank this year, and this is my third attempt after I started preparation. And in first two attempts, I couldn't clear prelims. So this is my first mains and first interview. So in prelims, I would like to say practice is the key, because some people read and they won't practice. So tests are very important in the prelims exam, because when you give test, you will understand how to choose the options, and you will also understand how to eliminate options. So practice is very important, and time management is also very important, because when in CSAT, you will not get enough time. So time management is very important. Next, I would like to say don't prepare separately for prelims and mains, because both are integrated and you will have the subjects similar only. So don't prepare separately, prepare integratedly. So it can help after clearing prelims. And another thing is maintaining consistency. So you have to be guilty if you waste 1 hour. So you should feel guilty. So these are the three things which I maintained and I cleared this year. So don't feel bad. I'm very nervous while talking in front of people. Uh, so I have very much stage fear. And while attending interview also, I was very low in confidence. And when I took interview from Cancer, he boasted me like he gave very confidence to me, and I will be very thankful to Cancer as well. So if anyone wants to be success, be confident and believe in yourself. You can do it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Lastly, we have Vijeta B Hosmani, hailing from Vijaypura with a BA LLB degree. She believes in the saying, whether you think you can or you think you cannot, you're right. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening to everyone. Dr. Khan sir, the dignitaries on the dais, and of course the most important people here, all of you. Thank you for having us here. And being the last speaker, I don't want to test your patience, so I'll try to keep it short. See, when all of us are sitting here, there's not much difference between us and you guys. We're just one among you. So the first thing I think for success in this exam is to not glorify the exam or the toppers. You know, it's just that some things we get right, some things we get wrong. Of course, for me, it has been quite a long journey, and like even Nagendra sir was mentioning, it has been quite a long journey. So from us, and when we share our experiences, we hope that you guys can learn from our mistakes so that you don't make them. Can I just ask how many of you here are giving the 2024 attempt? Okay, quite a bit of you. And the others, the 2025 attempt, I guess. Okay. So as the exam is near, so the most important element I think for this exam is the mindset, you know, be it at any stage. Feeling that you can clear the exam is the only way that you are actually going to. So my journey in the UPSC began in 2020 when I decided to give my first attempt in 2020. Consistently for 3 times, I failed in the prelims itself. So, you know, throughout my education, I had been doing well academically. And when I faced failures here, I understood this one thing that we all keep hearing: UPSC creates a level playing field, and it makes you very humble. Because the exam is the same for everyone, no matter your background, no matter your baggage also. So this is something that I learned. So from my experience of about 4 to 5 years, what I have understood is, like in any other competitive exam, in the UPSC also, the first stage is that you understand the exam. So what do I mean by that? The exam is in 3 stages, of course, you all know that. So what does the exam demand from you in every stage? Like the speakers already have highlighted the various facets of the prelims, mains and the interview. So I'm not going to take you much into that. My 2 cents on this is just that, as many of you have already started your preparation and are giving the prelims, understand that prelims is also a game of the mindset, and like Shashank sir has already mentioned, it's checking your personality in every stage. So even during those 2 hours when you're sitting in the hall writing prelims, it's not just your knowledge that is going to help you. It is the calm and confidence that you bring and your ability to think beyond the paper. So when a question is asked to you, when a statement is made and you read it, don't just limit yourself to the knowledge or the books that you have read. Try to think of it broadly. Take it to the broadest limit possible of that statement. Think whether this can be right, commonsensically, not even using your knowledge. Just think casually, if you did not know anything about this subject, would this statement seem right to you? Because of the changing pattern in the prelims, I think developing this ability is going to help you clear the prelims at least. And of course in the CSAT, that's again something that you can't take it lightly anymore. So give it a bit of practice. And again in CSAT, having a mix of both. So do not limit yourself to any one part. Like, do not think that if you're good at math, you may ignore the reading comprehension. Devote equal time to all of them and have a clear state of mind and be calm. Forget about the GS paper when you're writing CSAT, that's very important. So how you retain your calm during the 2 hours between the 2 papers is also important. And then after the prelims, you know, once you start with your mains preparation, I mean, you have started already the mains preparation, but now the dedicated mains preparation. Again here, like Thejaswini ma'am has also mentioned, practice is the key for mains when you're writing something. So at every stage, what matters is that you are understanding the exam and understanding the demand of it in the way that is required. So for prelims, you're taking mock tests, you're doing the PYQs. For the mains, again, you're mainly focusing on the PYQs. Understanding that in every paper, what is the marks division inter se between different subjects. So for example, in GS1, when you're looking at history, so try to understand in history, what is the weightage given to modern history, especially in that, what is the weightage given to national movement, and then what is the weightage to world history and post-independence. So divide your time accordingly also when you're preparing. So don't spend too much time on a part from where maybe questions may not come. And in case they come, understand that the advantage of this exam being so competitive is that if a question is difficult for you, it's going to be difficult for everyone. So you do not have to fear that question during that time. So prepare accordingly for every subject, devote equal time. And then again, in the interview stage, of course, Dr. Khan is there with you. I mean, you're so lucky to be at the institute, and he would guide you with regard to how to enhance and present your personality in the best possible manner. The second part of the preparation for me is understanding yourself. So by that I mean, once you have understood the demand of the paper in different stages, understand what is your strength and weakness. So by this I mean, it can be in different terms, not just your subject knowledge, but also how do you study as a student. What is your preferred method of studying during your school days and your college days? Do you prefer to study by yourself or by watching lectures? Do you like to make notes? So for me, I like to study by myself. I like to make very short notes. So again, the same thing that helped me during my school days, it helped me in the UPSC preparation also. So this is why when you hear some people who have been selected, they give a talk and they tell you what their strategy was. Be very, very choosy with regard to what do you take and what do you not. Because what works for me may not for you. So what works for you, only you will know. So in this entire journey, you are the best judge. You are your own North Star, you know, you have to understand what works for you and devise your own strategy. Do you like to listen to lectures? Then please do that. Do not miss any lecture. And if you like to revise multiple times, please do that. And if you like to practice answer writing to a very great extent, please do that. And sometimes you may realize that maybe you're very good at something and some other subject may be your weak area. So spend more time on that. Follow your own unique method. But I hope you're comfortable with Kannada a little bit. Okay. So ಮುಂದೆ ಗುರಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಹಿಂದೆ ಗುರು ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದು ಗುರಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಾ. You have a big vision, right? And this is quote from my favorite movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, where he says that when you have a dream, you have to protect it. Do not let anyone tell you that you cannot, and it should not even be you yourself telling you that you cannot. So Athara, be very firm on your target, your vision. And of course, you are lucky enough to have great mentors with you, supporting you, giving you guidance. So make sure that you take full use of this opportunity and be very firm on your goal. So once you do this part of understanding the exam and understanding yourself, there's nothing that can stop you really except yourself. Again, everything boils down to the mindset. So how do you take every step, every failure is up to you. So my friends have already highlighted the importance of consistency and discipline. So those things are really the keys to cracking this exam. But I want to just highlight one another thing. That is, what happens when you fail, not at the exam, but what happens when you fail at being consistent. So suppose you have set a target, you have made a plan, and you fail at it, you do not follow it. You have some targets and you do not do it. What happens then? Because mine has been a long journey, I have great experience of this. It happens a lot of times. I have some targets, I do not meet them. And that is the time when you have to be there to pick yourself back. That is exactly the time when grit comes into play. When you have to bounce back. You tell yourself, you are your own life coach, I think in this sense. That you tell yourself that it's okay, you did not complete your targets, but you do not have the luxury to feel bad about it. Because time is of essence here, and every rest that you take, every break that you take, it has to be earned by your hard work. So you do not have the luxury to sit and feel bad that you did not meet your targets. You do not have the luxury to say that, acha, today I wasted 3 hours, so let it be, today is gone, I will do tomorrow. That can't work. If you have wasted 3 hours, fine, take an hour of gap, but come back to study. Even if you do, say 2 hours on a bad day, that is really good. Because it is the bad days also that really matter. The days when you do not feel like studying, the effort that you put on that day, even if it is just 1 hour, it is worth 5 hours on a good day. So remember this at every stage of the exam, especially when you fail at something, be it in the prelims also. So recover back, recover quickly and recover better. Like they say, when you fall down, rise again and rise again quicker the next time you fall, because you're going to fall and that's natural. So the exam is not supposed to be cracked by, superhuman people. It's supposed to be cracked by all of us. And we come with our own limitations of being human, being students, and being at an age where we question things. So when we come into this preparation, along with the exam, life is also happening. So we see around our friends are also excelling in different fields. So there is that opportunity cost that we are missing. We have left our domain of expertise and come to this preparation where we are studying the general studies paper. The exam cycle is so long. So sometimes we think that, okay, we are probably missing out on other things that we could have been doing at this time. And we can't stay away from social media at times. We see our friends excelling in different fields. We try to compare, but remember that comparison is the thief of joy. So if you want to stay sane during this preparation, try to just focus on yourself. Like Dr. Khan sir mentioned, you are the only competition. And how do you beat the competition? It's just be better every single day. Even 1% improvement every day adds up to a lot. But remember that failure is natural in every part, every stage of the exam. Just rise back quicker every single time. I think that's all I want to say. Remember that Manas Siddhali Marga. Please be firm. Have a strong determination that you want to crack it. Of course, spend a lot of time trying to think, why do you want to come into the civil services? Because when the journey gets long, that is the only thing that will come to save you. So with that, I'm sorry for taking up a lot of your time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Kudos to all the toppers for this incredible achievement. We highly appreciate your efforts to share your experiences. That was certainly holistic and very helpful for all the beginners. Let's give them a big round of applause. Now we come to the most awaited part of the seminar, that is the question and answer session with the toppers. I request students to raise their hands in case of any questions. Our apologies, we would have Vijeta ma'am's father to address the gathering for a few minutes.
Good evening, everybody. Respected Dr. A.R. Khan, sir, the founder of Khan Study Group, respected dignitaries on the dais, parents, dear toppers, and the dynamic aspirants of civil service. Today, you all have heard the toppers talk and the teachers talk. Probably Khan sir might have felt that let parent also should speak. Today you all have assembled here. It definitely speaks that your parents have supported you to pursue this toughest exam. As you know, the civil service is told to be the toughest exam in India at present. Maybe chartered accountant, law, there may be so. Out of all, this is told to be the toughest. Since you have confidence that you will traverse through this journey, you have chosen this. And you have confidence yourself. As a parents, generally, they have more confidence than you that you will crack through. The crux of the problem is, since the competition is very vast, the opportunities are limited, maybe around 1,000. So, lot of aspirants may not get chance in the immediate year or next year. It doesn't mean that they are not up to the mark. They might have missed in 1 or 2 marks, as Nagendra sir was telling that 4 marks. That 4 marks has made him to again prepare for 2 years. This is what is the competition. In this, the most important thing is the mentorship, the consistency, and the patting by the parents, which works very well. Particularly when you attempt for 2-3 times, generally one thought of time will come that if I prepare some other exam, I would have through. If I would have chosen that, I would have through. This is where the things go wrong. This is where the mentorship plays a very vital role. Because as a candidate, you have confidence. As a parent, we have confidence. But the mentors, the teachers can definitely tell you how to correct, where to correct. As Shashank sir was telling, right teacher, because many teachers tell you about your lacunas, because which can be done easy job. Anybody can do, this is where you are lacking, this is where you are lacking. But the real teacher identifies the strength in you and prompts you to use that strength to overcome the failures also. That is teachers like Khan sir. Such a brilliant, eminent teachers, when they identify the strengths, because I was going through Khan sir's this one, at a very crucial time, just 1 or 2 days prior of your main interview, he sends you the strength of yours, mentioning few weaknesses, because by the time your weaknesses would have come to 0 or 1 or 2. That gives you a boost, because when you hear from an eminent scholars like Khan sir or any UPSC board members or panel interviews, any mock interview, that very one word can change your interview, can make you a successful man. Particularly at that juncture, it is very important. So you are all fortunate enough to have such a good mentors. Please be focusful in your goal. Don't deter by maybe failures once or twice. Nagendra sir was telling, he is a live example. At 7th attempt, he got IAS only. That is how the result comes. Maybe 1 or 2. And majority of the times, you might have scored well, but however, you can try for the improvement in the future years. You can crack. Ultimate goal is, like Nagendra sir's, IAS, the number 1. So, I wish you all the great success in your endeavor. All the best. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It was great to know your perspective as well. Let's continue with the Q&A session. So any questions, please raise your hands. It's a golden opportunity, guys. Please utilize it. You have the toppers in front of you.
We can pass it.
They got young lungs, young pair of lungs. Yeah, you can speak. Speak from there.
Please be loud, guys, and be clear.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್. ಸೊ PYQs ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ PYQs ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು 100 ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ MCQs ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ವರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಂಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಒಂದೇ ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲ, ಕಳೆದ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 5 ವರ್ಷದ PYQs ತೊಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಒಂದು ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಕಾಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ UPSC ದಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಲೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಒಂದೇ ಸತಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, 100 ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ನ 4-5 ಸತಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಓದಿ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಓದಿ. ಇವನ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಗೋ ಓವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸತಿ ಓದಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. UPSC ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ನ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಓದೋವಾಗ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕೀನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೋಡಿ ಇದ್ರ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನೀವು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇದು ಯಾಕೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಾನು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿ. ಬರೀ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಮ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್, ಸಮ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಆನ್ಸಿಲರಿ ನಾಲೆಜ್, ಸಮ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇವನ್ನ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶನನ್ನು ಇದು ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿಂದು ಯಾವ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ನಿಂದ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಪಾಲಿಟಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಂದ ಬಂತು, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಬಾಡೀಸಿಂದ ಬಂತಾ ಅಥವಾ ಕೋರ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ, ಈಗ ವೈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಥ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನಲ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಇದೆನಾ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇದೆನಾ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು 5 ವರ್ಷದಾದರೂ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 2 ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ನಿಂದ ಯಾವ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ನಿಂದ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ 2ನೇದು, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ನ ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಿತ್ತು, ಬರೀ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತಾನೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ವೆನ್ ಯು ರೀಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಓದಿದಾಗನೇ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ರೀಡ್ ಇಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ರಾಡ್ಲಿ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆನೂ ಅದು ಸಿಗ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು 2022 ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲಿ, ಮೊನೊಸೈಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಇತ್ತು. ಪ್ರತಿ ಕೋಸ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ ಇದು ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಅದು ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ರೌಂಡ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಸಣ್ಣ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿನೇ ತೆಗೆದಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರ್ ಯೋರ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರನೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ ನಾವು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು, ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೇನ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ, ಸೊ ಮೇನ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ದರ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಇನ್ ಈಚ್ ಪೇಪರ್. ಪ್ರತಿ ಪೇಪರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ವೇಟೇಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತಲೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಜನರಲಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ನಂಬರ್. ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1, 2, 3 ಆರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ, ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 11, 12, 13 ಆರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ನಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದಾಗ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಂಗ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಆನ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪೇಪರ್ ಸಬ್ಕಾನ್ಷಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ. ಈಗ ಪಾಲಿಟಿ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಜಾರ್ಗನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಪಾಲಿಟಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ GS 1ದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟರ್ಮಿನಾಲಜಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದರದ್ದೇ ಆದಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ, ದೆನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಥರ ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀರಾ, ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸಿನ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀರಾ, ಯಾವ ನಂಬರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀರಾ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಫ್ರೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀರಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವಾಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದು ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಟಾಪರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ನೀವೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸಿಂದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರೆದಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಮಾಕ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಇದಾಗಬಹುದು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಆಕ್ಚುಲ್ UPSC ಕ್ವೆಶನ್, ಅದೇ ಲೆವೆಲಿನ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಈಗ 2023 ಪೇಪರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನೇ 3 ಗಂಟೆ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಚುಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಸಿನಾರಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇ ಕೂತು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಂಟರಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವೇ ಬರೆದು ನೋಡಿ 3 ತಾಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತದೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅಂತ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಎನಿ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವಿತ್ ಟಾಪರ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಕಾಪೀಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಲ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಈ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ಸು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಒಂದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ನಾಲೆಜ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊರತೆ ಇದೆನಾ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿತ್ತು ನೆನಪಾಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ್ದು ವೀಕ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಲೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಮಾಕ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ PYQ as a mock test, try to sit and analyze 2-3 hours at least this thing. What was the weightage of different subjects? What were your strengths and weaknesses? And how can you do better? Anta. So I think that is the role of PYQs. Do you guys have anything to add?
So one more thing. So especially environment questions na ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮೊದಲೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ನವೇ ಡೇಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ದಟ್ ಅನಿಬೀಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಗಲ್ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ, ಸೊ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒರಾಂಗುತಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಕ್ವಿರಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲೂ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಾ ಒಲಿಂಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮೆಡಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ತುಂಬ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮೆಡಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 2038 ಏನೋ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಒಲಿಂಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಚೆಸ್ಸಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಡೈಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರಲ್ಲಿ, ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಯು ಟು ಆನ್ಸರ್.
See, current affairs, newspaper is the better thing, best thing I can say. So after newspaper, I used to go through DNS, Daily News Simplified, on YouTube. It's for free. So I used to go through that. In the morning, I read the newspaper, The Hindu, usually The Hindu. During interviews, I used to go through the Indian Express also. After Hindu in the morning, maybe by this time or another 1 or 2 hours, the Our KSG will upload DNS, Daily News Simplified. The next day or in the night itself, I used to go through that. One thing, there are 2 things related to that DNS thing. One is that they go into the background of the topics mentioned in the newspaper. So they go into what laws are related to that particular action of the executive or any other thing. So what is that law? When was it enacted? What was the modifications done? Everything, but they go into the background. So I'll get more information on that topics. Second thing is that there is a revision happening. Once I have read in the newspaper, second time I'm hearing and looking at. So my visionary senses are working, and then my hearing senses are working. So again, that revision happens. And maybe if at all, third thing, if I can add, there is some analytical depth in that videos that I found useful, that you can make use of it. Apart from that, monthly magazines I used to follow, not just once. When they get released, I go through them once, and then during prelims, I just go through on top of it, kind of surface soil, because analysis is not necessary. What is it that's necessary for prelims? Why, when, who, then why is more necessary for the mains thing. So that analysis part I used to avoid during prelims, but I used to go through magazines at least twice. Thank you. I think I'm not credible to answer that. My plan B is only plan A. My plan B was plan A. So I think someone will answer this.
None of them seem to be having given so many attempts. They have their own people who ask plan B. I think I like you to tell you there's a concept of plan A1. Have you heard about it? There's a plan A1. You got plan A. I mean, you want this service, you don't get, you get this service. There's 21 services. So A21. So there are 21 in that. And otherwise also, you've got state services also. We've got same syllabus now. So this is plan B, this is plan C, this is plan D. And there is a concept of focus fire. If you convert all your energy to common point, which is fire, and give yourself 100%, and try seeing that this happens. If not, then of course there is a series of plans, but all in the same line. And then 21A, A21, 21 services. I think I've got new lungs. Young pair of lungs. I think I can handle. So these are the wrong people to ask plan B because they stuck to their plan A and they reduced fire. It takes time sometimes, but then that's.
One thing I want to emphasize here that because plan B, why it is necessary is that we lose the track of it. Like we get distracted, we lose the focus, we lose that passion, we lose that energy. So you, the young blood, lot much energy. I look back at my life 6-7 years back. I used to have a lot much energy. I was like excited all the time. Now I'm like, okay, whatever happens, happens. It's okay. I've come to the life's terms. Like I'm more into philosophy now. Philosophy is more of cynicism, and then life is like this. Life is cruel. But at 21, I was like, life is hell and heaven. I was living that, but that energy, I didn't channelize it properly. I was distracted. Yes, I made some mistakes. Please don't get distracted. Like energy. I think many would have heard this Nikola Tesla's statement. If you want to unravel the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So that energy, please channelize it properly. That's my suggestion. Thank you. Okay. Hi, bro. Mech bros. Uh, yeah. Thank you. Telling like you're relating to me, so I feel good now for the first time. So yes, my optional was PSIR. I didn't take any optional for 6 months. I contacted my lecturers in back in the college. I sent them PYQ question papers. They said that these questions are a bit more advanced than what you study in the colleges. So it's better not to take them. It's what their suggestion. And based on that, and then I analyzed and then I researched about how the GS papers are, and then based on that, I took PSIR as my optional because there was lot much overlap. There was lot much information in PSIR. I loved it. I took it in Shubhra Ranjan. I did consider options: mechanical engineering, PSIR, anthropology, and mathematics. I'd lose my integrity if I suggest it. No, I'll definitely lose my integrity. But I, being a PSIR student, I'll suggest PSIR always. Thank you. Thanks.
So seeing ourselves will be, if you see it is not a job, it is a service. We are servants of this country. So first thing you need to keep it in mind. So otherwise, if as I said earlier, society always you know, see the people who are succeed in this journey. But even if you fail, it is okay. So we are normal, we are just sitting in front of you, not in the top. So if you see like that, if you are normal, life will be happy. So if you think you are extraordinary, then everything, so everything will be come, and the obstacles and every, god is waiting, god is waiting. So my vision is to realize women led development. So that give me 195 marks in the interview. So if you if I always said that don't come to UPSC just because after seeing social media that IAS IPS they give a Toyota car, they will give they receive great respect from society. Come with purpose, because that will serve you in the long term. So I always say you, one suggestion will be normal. So you should always be normal and just enjoy the process, and forget about the future. So you just do what is there in your hand. Now in your hand you have prelims, just focus on it, then mains, after interview, so after training, and you will join the service. So in each stage you have to focus on what is there in your hand at present. So instead of focusing on the future, that is the biggest problem in our society, that is the biggest problem in our mindset. So if you enjoy that today, we should enjoy today, not tomorrow. So I would suggest be normal, just enjoy the current day.
I would just like to mention, think where you want to be in future. That will take you to that destination. That's it.
One thing which is commonly I'm saying is the humility. Humility is very, very important, and you have to be very clear about the goal that you have got. Again, with your permission, can I add this goals?
Definitely, sir.
All right. No, I just took it out. There are three types of goals that you have in life, and then quite often you forget that. One is like crowning goal. Crown. You have the crown which you see this. Crowning goal is one which you think that I want to serve my country. You are at best a servant. When you become this lucky enough to serve this beautiful country, you become a servant. You can't get better than this. So even IPS, in BSF you are force, but IPS you are servant. IPS, IFS, IAS, IRS, all are servants. So that is what you have got as your crowning goal. I want to be honest, I want to serve the people, I want to do something for society. These are like crowning goals, but you can't work for that. That's your imagination, as you rightly said it just now. Then you have got that crown has to be kept on something. That's called capstone goal. You can do it by becoming a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, a doctor, an IAS, an IPS, an IRS. You can still be honest. You can still be serving the country. So you work towards that. But can you work towards that also, because you can't see that? You just have nothing in your hand. So then the third goal comes. First is crowning goal in your mind, not clear, that you want to serve the country. Then you have got the role on which the crown has to be kept. That's called capstone goal. And then you have got a new big goal, ADOBE. That's those bricks that you put in. And she said, like, I mean, you look into that next 1 hour, next 2 hour, next 3 hour, 4 hour, and then you miss some brick. One place or two places is fine. But if you mix a series, that whole thing will crumble. And if you focus on that, you can't really reach their layer. I hope you're getting that. So you focus on this FUB goal, the process goal that's been talked about, the karma that he was talking about. You have only process goal, not outcome goal. If you focus on outcome goal, it's something like looking at airport and thinking about airport and driving. You pump the car. So that's not something which I want. Just go for the FUB goal, and that really works. Sorry, you see.
Nothing, so just something on this line. So when I started my preparation, I'm a person who really likes to keep quotes surrounding me in my room, on my wall, etc. So one of the big things that I had written is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So, this is what I kept thinking. If I'm preparing for prelims, that's all I'm going to think. And even during prelims, just think of the one question in your hand and then the next question and so on, and the mains and the interview. And at this stage, of course, you will think of your career ahead and the challenges and the opportunities that you're going to get. But like Dr. Khan sir mentioned, the crowning goal is that you want to be of service. So when that is your determination, you will find ways. In whichever service you land, in whichever profession you land, if you want to be of service, you will be. So you don't have to think of that right now. You just have to think of achieving this one goal in front of you. So to all the candidates here appearing for the exam in June now, so just focus on the prelims at this time. Everything else will come to you at the right time.
Disclaimer, she's a vegetarian.
I am.
So I know her now, so I must clarify that. Okay, next question.
So the question was where we see in the future being a civil servant, right? Anything, right? In life, become a human, better human, better human. That's it. Yes. So, my mental state and my family support, right? I had a very good family. I was blessed. So, my mother and my father, they were like gods for me, and then they helped me a lot. They never had a negative word running around in my environment or else in my mind. They always pushed me, and then I completely owe my success to my parents and my relatives. It's not. I was blessed in getting good relatives also. Because that's more important. uh, because we always challenge our relatives, like you disrespected our parents, that this and all. No, here nothing happened. Here everything was cordial and then cooperative. So everything went well, and that's how it happened. And the mental state was after my sixth prelims went bad because of CSAT. That too, I was very good at CSAT. I used to get more than 100 in my past 5 attempts. But during sixth attempt, what happened was fifth interview was on the last day, last but one day. Just a week of time, I can't prepare for both GS and CSAT. What I was thinking was, I used to get 100 in CSAT, so I'll anyway get 66. It'll be easy for me. So I'll focus on GS. I did focus on GS. I got 108 in GS, but CSAT was 64. That's where I had to sit for 1 year. Something miracle happened. I can't tell that. There was some personal challenge. So I took all the energy, the negative energy that I had towards this UPSC. This time I went to Delhi, and then I had to lose all my friends because I was so encumbered by friends that I used to play games, that this and all. I used to spend a lot of productive time with them. But during mains, I thought that it's not better. It's not good to have them around me. So I went to Delhi. It was Delhi was my center, and then I completely focused on that. That's why I used to say that don't get distracted, because you have all the opportunity to get distracted. So it's in your control to not get distracted. At least I can't say that you can't completely avoid getting distracted, but lessen it. Like you can fix a time to go for the pleasant distractions, that's it, not complete distraction. And then you can maintain that energy if you are motivated, if you have some personal challenge. That I will say, I can't say what that personal challenge is, but I'll say have that personal challenge. And second thing is that for my younger self, what I suggest is that please don't get distracted. The world is selfish, and be selfish.
For the first time who are going to give prelims this year, So what separates MSD from the rest? Huh? What separates MSD from the rest of the captains? He was able to control himself on the field. So that's what separating. So in my first two attempts, I was not able to clear prelims because I was not able to control myself. My attitude in the exam hall was not good. So this year, I was calm. I read the same books, same economics, same books, same polity. But this time, I went with 3 C's and I got 120 in GS. So it is simple. You control your emotions. In these days, I know you guys have no dearth of knowledge. So just focus on controlling your emotions in the another 20 days. So that will be very useful. You will understand why we morely focus on emotions. You will understand when they gave you paper. So if you control emotions, definitely you are going to prelims, clear the prelims.
Uh, for first timers who are giving prelims, there will be more stress in your mind. So when you enter the exam hall, don't be too stressed because it can affect your efficiency and effectiveness. So please maintain calmness and don't think about the results. And if you don't know the first 20 questions also, you have 80 questions. Still you can pass. So don't be too stressed, be calm.
It's the same advice when you go to the exam hall, own the hall. When you go and sit there, your body language should be confident. My initial attempts in prelims, I used to be nervous. This time I decided I'm going to go as though I'm going to win, because I learned that you succeed or you fail before entering the exam hall itself. So before going there, have this mindset that you're going to win it. And once you sit there, have this calm state of mind and believe that you're going to get the answers. Belief plays a very important role. When you believe that you will know the answer, somehow your brain will manage to find you the answer one way or the other, whether with your knowledge or your logical reasoning, you will come to the answer. It's the same in prelims and in mains also. Also have this mindset that you will be ready for anything to happen, because sometimes life can come in the way. Sometimes you may face some personal challenges also just before the exam, and even in that state of mind you will have to give the exams. So be prepared for that. Like even before, during my mains, I had some severe allergic reaction and I couldn't study for my optional papers after the GS. But I was okay with that because by now I had learned this mindset. It's also a skill that you develop over time. But for you guys, my advice would be that you learn from our experience and develop this mindset. And all you have to do to develop it is just to say that I have that mindset. Saying will make it happen. So keep saying to yourself that you can, and whatever challenges may come that you can't even foresee at this moment, it's okay and you will be calm because you are prepared. Keep telling this to yourself. Like even in my UPSC, the prelims paper, when I got the question paper, on the last page I had written, you got this. So some small things that you tell to yourself, they make a big difference in the exam hall.
Long list and take next 2 hours to tell the source. No, normal whatever it is said on YouTube, it will do. Just that you have to have the clarity of what is happening. That's it. Source is very simple. We don't follow unique sources, except that I have one or two unique sources. I'll tell. School of Life I used to follow on YouTube. Like that has got much philosophical, anthropological, sociological, psychoanalysis. Those playlists that I used to follow because that will come in handy during essay writing and then GS4 writings. And the second thing was the big thing. They discuss, analyze various concepts for the same ethics 4, GS4 and essay. Any unique things?
You could also follow the Better India website to get examples for your essay and ethics, and also be motivated. Like someone was asking about where we see ourselves ahead. So you'll get ample examples of officers doing excellent things, and they can be your role models also and keep you motivated. So something of that sort, other than the standard book list.
Source can be movies also. I wrote movie dialogue in Have the 4 papers.
And there are quite a few people who've done that.
Yeah. I wrote Janagana Mana movie, Malayalam movie trailer, in the conclusion for the men. Like that you can do.
Any other questions?
Just adding to that question, do you prefer any specific book only for PSIR option? Did you read any standard books or any particular author for the PSIR option?
Opigo.
Sir, but is it for the only theories or rest of the aspects?
If I was scoring better in paper 2, 136, 139, it used to be like that. And paper 2 is more of a current affairs thing. So if you have good knowledge regarding the numbers and examples that's happening, you can portray it better in a better manner. And then the first paper matters a lot, because if you're scoring better in a better manner, the first paper, then you will be getting through, because the first paper is where I didn't score in my previous attempts. Second paper was not the problem. It was the first paper. That's why I followed this OPGO.
I suppose I'd like to add here. Quite often we get worried about which petrol station I'll go to get my fuel. It's not the gas, the fuel which is important. It's the engine which processes that. So if the engine is efficient, and you can buy your petrol from anywhere.
The one who asked about mechanical optional, the same thing applies.
Yeah, the engine is the difference. Otherwise, everybody gets the same gas, how it processes. And one more thing, since you're from mechanical, I would like you to be careful about that exhaust line catalytic converter. You must find something to vent yourself out. Because this engine, when it produces lots of toxicity and gas and problems, the fumes and whatnot, no matter how effective that you have got like NDFI or all those things that you have added to it as turbochargers, irrespective, you have to have an exhaust line. Efficient, clean exhaust line. You must let your negatives out. Because when you're burning your fuel, lots of negatives are coming. And you should have your ecosystem. You should have your rope team. Rope team, I was discussing with sir today, it doesn't pushes you to the peak, but it stops you from falling in the ditches. So you should have your rope team, your family, your friends, your relatives, always selfish. So you have to be careful. You would be probably as part of the rope team. Select your rope team, have your exhaust line clean, so those negativities doesn't stay with you, and pass buy gas from any petrol station, no problem. Right? That's very mechanical answer. Other philosophical questions. Yes, please.
Congratulations to everyone. I have a basic question. How to set a grade strong? Like everybody will speak about how to go through the standard books, how to study the NCERTs, how many times you need to revise the NCERTs, and how to remember them. And my second question is how to channelize all our information into an effective essay presentation. And my third question is how to make short notes out of the bulky books. And ಇದು ಒಂದು ಕಾಮನ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಫಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಓಡ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಲೈಕ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದವರೆಲ್ಲ ನಮಗಿಂತ ತುಂಬಾ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಏಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಬರ್ಡನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮೇ ಬಿ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಶುಡ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ದ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ. ಈ ತರ ನನಗೆ ಪರ್ಸನಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಸರಿ ಬರ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ?
ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾನು 3 ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ವೆನೆವರ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಮೀ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಟ್. ನಾನೇ ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ಲ. So first question was how to set the base strong, right? Through revisions. And then NCERTs, there is no hard and fast rule. People suggest, even I never went through NCERTs, to be frank. Few selected NCERTs, that's it. Geography, I used to follow the NCERT, and then economy, one NCERT, not otherwise. And polity, always Lakshmikant, because I had PSIR optional also. I had good understanding of what it is. The only thing that matters to set your base strong is that have a focused approach, be focused when you are studying, understand it completely, what are the nuances, what are the articles that are related, and then like how in a different ways, different dimensions that it is related to. This conceptual clarity will increase your confidence levels also. That will help you um, make your basic understanding of what the subjects are strong. And then the second question was essay. All right, yeah. So I used to first when I started giving mains, I saw this one or two videos of cancer. Sir talked about that various time frame thing. You can write an essay through the time frames. Like this is how it happened in the past. This is how it happened. It is happening in the present, and then this thing can happen in the future. In this way, there are many ways to write it. Time thing, and then pestle approach, something like polity, economics, legal dimensions. These dimensions that you can write, or else you can follow why, what, who, where, when, how. This is what I personally like, because that's where most of the analysis comes. And then I scored 128 this time, and then in my second mains I scored 135 also. So that's why I'm telling that I focused on what, why, how, who, where, when. These questions matter to me a lot. And then within this, I used to integrate this pestle approach. Um that's it, I can say. And then make your introductions and conclusions attractive. Be it mains, GS answers, or optional answers, or essay. Make your introductions and conclusions attractive. So that's left to you how you make it attractive, because everyone has their own way of making it attractive. Some people write poems in their introductions. I wrote poem, The Ugly Duckling, in this attempt itself. There was a thing, not everyone who wanders are lost. For that, I wrote The Ugly Duckling by Christian Andersen. So maybe that's why I scored better manner, better score, 128, not bad. So and then the third question was how to make notes, crisp notes, right? Uh, I didn't make any notes, so someone will answer that. The fourth one was parents and comparison. So it's your luck to have parents. If you have hard parents, also it's in your hands how to convince them through your skill, your talent. That if you show some result, some short result, at least once clear the prelims, they'll definitely love you for the next attempt for you to give. They'll motivate you. They'll keep patting you like this. You can do. And then comparison, ma'am said, Vijeta ma'am, that comparison is the thief of joy. And then I would add another one thing, that perfection is a disease. So don't try to be perfect. Start from the day one, practice, practice, practice. Whatever you know, try to improvise by looking at your predecessors or seniors, whatever they are, the test copies that they have written. It will be available on the various websites. Go through that. Try to improvise your answers by making their answers as reference. And then that's it. Don't compare yourself to others. And if you want to compare yourself to yourself. The other day, the before day, so I was telling that meta competition. Yes, that's it. Note making.
Two things with regard to making notes. You can always do reverse engineering here. Try to start with the PYQs and understand what would be the ideal answer that you would write in that. So how you can do that is, one, through some model answers by any institute, and also by looking at topper answer copies. Try to understand what have they used. For example, in the introduction, what have they used? Have they started with a quote? Have they started with an anecdote or a statement by some eminent person, say like the Honorable Prime Minister? So identify the elements in an answer. Identify how many data facts that they have used, how many examples have they given, and how have they ended their answers. So when you do this exercise, you will understand that for any good answer, you are requiring some things. You want some good opening line, some good conclusions, and in the body, you require some data and a lot of examples. So once you have this in your head, that's how your notes should be. Your note should be how your answer, you want your answer to be.
So for this also, you can start by say looking at some topper notes which are already available on Telegram. I think a lot of toppers have been kind enough to share their entire notes, detailed notes and even short notes. So try to pick something that resonates your answer writing style. Use that as your base and then build on that. If you want to have it in your own handwriting, that's always good. It helps in your muscle memory. Make your own short notes. And what do I mean by short notes is that notes should only include value addition. And by this I mean, do not write something that's already there in Lakshmikant. Only write things that you would find in miscellaneous sources. For example, one day you're reading the Hindu, you come across a quote by the Honorable Chief Justice of India that you can directly quote in one of your GS2 answers. Then have that in your notes. And if you come across some article which is mentioned in the current affairs of the Constitution, and you think that you can start your answer by quoting this article of the Constitution, then have that in your notes. Similarly, with regard to international relations also or society, pick up things from the newspaper, because newspaper is not something that you're going to revise again, right? Whereas Lakshmikant, the book, you're going to revise multiple times. So you do not have to make notes out of that. Make notes also out of miscellaneous things only. Use only the things that you're directly going to use in the actual answers, and they have to be versatile. For example, the same example should be capable of being used in, say, society as well as in ethics. So do not go for a lot of examples. Keep it very limited as with regard to your sources. Similarly, with regard to your notes, if it is very limited, it will help you more in the exam because you can remember them quickly. And ma'am, with regard to your second question, see, understand that this is a competitive exam, but life circumstances of everyone is different. So you will only succeed in this if your approach and your strategy is suiting your life circumstances. So whatever your conditions are, understand that of course at this age you will have a lot of responsibilities towards yourself, your parents, and your dreams also. So try to balance that and make your own strategy. Think of what your life circumstances permit you to do. But one thing I want to say is be bold and courageous. Sometimes we feel that with my circumstances, maybe this is a dream too big for me. So don't have that mindset. Try to do the best you can in the circumstances that you find yourself in. Understand that this exam is giving same questions in everyone's mind more or less, because we are at this age. We do think of our friends and our responsibility, and that we are spending our productive youth preparing for an exam and we are not taking up any job. So these are the common set of questions, but everyone's life circumstances are different. So devise a strategy based upon your life circumstances. And if you think that having a plan B or preparing alongside a job will give you that mental stability to focus better on the exam, then by all means do that, but spend a lot of time beforehand to think about it clearly. So think of this, that whether you can actually give a serious attempt along with the job. If you think you can, then of course you will. So, but then devise a plan beforehand before plunging into taking up any job. So make a plan after thinking thoroughly and discuss with your parents probably, because their wisdom will be something that you are going to require in your journey. One last question.
Time. Let them know why you sacrificed friends. Okay, because not to get distracted. That's why I said that this attempt, when I had to write mains, I went to Delhi, so that I stay out of the comfort zones of my friends, and then the times I spend with them as a pleasant distraction. So that's what I wanted to avoid for that 3 particular months. So that's what I can say. Sacrifices.
I don't know why you sacrifice friends when you have good friends. Because I would honestly say that without my friends, I would not be here. Every stage of my preparation, they were with me, and that's why I said, please give it to him, sir. So I have good friends. It is very important to have good circle. It depends. It depends. Every woman cannot be a 12th fail heroine. So it depends on individual, your compatibility.
Shraddha, her name is Shraddha.
Just the last question.
What are like you three are optional and after training mails, if anyone think changed optional or not, did any thought to change optional?
Everyone wrote only one mains. I wrote 4 mains. I didn't change.
Optional, my optional was law. Kannada different.
PSI. Anthropology.
Thank you all. It was indeed a fruitful interactive session. Special thanks to all the aspirants who made this session profound by raising questions about every aspect of the preparation. We're going to end it now, so have a few minutes of patience. ನಾಳೆ ಎಂಬುದು ಶತ್ರು, ಇವತ್ತು ಎಂಬುದು ಸಂಬಂಧಿಕರು, ಈಗ ಎಂಬುದು ಮಿತ್ರ, ಈ ಕ್ಷಣ ಎಂಬುವುದೇ ಜೀವನ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ತಯಾರಿಯನ್ನು ಈ ಕ್ಷಣದಿಂದಲೇ ಆರಂಭಿಸುವುದೇ ಜಾಣತನ. This quote in Kannada emphasizes on the importance of this very moment. The one who chooses to commence their preparation from this very moment without any procrastination is a wise person. And this is what the examination also asks for. It's time for us to wind up the seminar today, but with a few words of gratitude. As rightly said, gratitude is the fairest blossom that springs from the soul. We thank everyone who worked for this event from the bottom of our hearts. KSG team is extremely grateful for your presence on this day, dear audience. You all made this seminar possible. Thank you and have a great evening ahead. Kindly wait until the chief guests and everyone disperse.
Yes, you want anything, you can ask. Thank you very much, all of you. Come today. बहुत सारे assessments करनी है आपको। हाँ, ये तो जाना है। ये तो जा सकते हैं। क्या हुआ? क्वेश्चन है।